Have any of you been out to see the wildflowers this season? That people have been putting pictures on Facebook that are just amazing. It looks like Van Gogh painted the hillside. It's so amazing. And all of that happened because of all that rain we had back in February and March that everybody was complaining about, but look what it did. Back in the, 20s, I don't know. This song was popular before I was born. It was called April Showers. And it says, though April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom in May. So if it's raining, have no regrets, because it isn't raining rain, you know. It's raining violets. And where you see clouds upon the hills, you soon will see crowds of daffodils. So keep on looking for the bluebird and listening for the song whenever April showers come along. Isn't that a lovely old lyric? It's beautiful and so appropriate. So it's actually a spiritual song. There's a very deep spiritual message in there, as there was in the song that Paula just sang so beautifully. That was really wonderful, by the way. It speaks of the constant unfoldment of the greater through what appears to be a hindrance. What appears to be a setback or a temporary limitation is actually some kind of preparation for something greater that's trying to emerge. Because life is always trying to expand, to become more, to create more out of itself, which is love and joy and peace and plenty and vitality. So the personal storms we experience, anybody have a personal storm ever in your life? Let's say, anyone never have one? Not possible, right? Ernest Holmes, the founder of this teaching, said, if you don't have some kind of challenge, you're probably not alive anymore. Because it's the nature of life to change, and that can challenge us when we're kind of attached to how we think it ought to be or how it always has been up until now. So these personal storms often prepare us for greater love or greater prosperity or a new way of doing things. It's kind of the pause button to stop doing it the same way, right? In this teaching, there's a cute little saying that says, there are no accidents, and people always take issue with it. But in fact, there aren't. That sometimes when we get into an accident, let's say a car accident, it can be an inner message to stop going in the direction you were going, metaphysically. And sometimes we don't listen to those messages that come more subtly or come more joyfully. We have to get kicked upside the head to get the message. And sometimes it happens in that way. Life is that. People say, well, I don't think that means anything. Everything means something. Everything's a message from the inner. Everything's a message from consciousness, okay? So when something isn't working in its current form, something greater is trying to happen. And what is happening is the dissolution of the old has begun. And that always precludes a new emergence, a new form, a new kind of relationship, a new way of being in the world, a new way of doing things. But we'll miss it if we try to patch up what isn't working. Ever tried to patch up a relationship? Wasn't it better if you took a good look at it and said, what are we doing in it that we could do differently? Sure, of course. So we have to say yes to the new, even when we don't know what it is yet. When things look the worst is the time to know the best. And it is the time to know that the best, or the greater, the healing, however you want to talk about it, is hidden within it. The best is hidden in what appears to be the worst. The crisis becomes an opportunity. Now, we all know that the Chinese character for crisis is the same as the one for opportunity, right? The optimist and the pessimist are both always right. Yes? Okay. So the opportunity is always to return to our spiritual source, our spiritual truth, and reclaim our oneness with it, reclaim our faith in it, our trust in it, our knowing that spirit is always on the job, and its job is my life. Its job is anything I'm involved in that I put I am in front of. Spirit is always present, and it's always attempting to prompt me, push me, nudge me, pull me, kick me into the acceptance of something better, greater. Now, I'm not saying Spirit knows better or worse. I'm just saying it's the tendency of life to grow and expand. So even in this optimistic teaching, people often face challenges, but they approach them differently than before they got into the teaching. Have you noticed that about yourself? The first thing we don't do is panic, but we're used to, right? We take to heart this very simple truth. Who you are is greater than any experience you're having. I cannot say that enough. I probably say it every week. I say it to myself every morning. I believe it is one of the most profound truths ever uttered, and humanity needs to know it right now. This is what humanity needs to know. Awakening to your spiritual magnificence is partly that, knowing that we are greater than any experience we're having or anything we've ever created together or individually, right? Say yes. It's a very important piece of spiritual truth. We are greater. We, the I am that God is being, is greater than anything it's done with us so far, or we have done with it so far. When I was in Calgary, at that church center that I had there, one year there were 3 women, longtime students of the teaching. They all were diagnosed with breast cancer that year. And they're all alive and well today, and it's gone. But they took the high road. They refused to think of themselves, and every one of them did this. I talked to each of them privately over time. But every one of them came to this. I refuse to be a cancer patient. This is a temporary experience I'm having. It has no power over me. And when they took that attitude, their mind relaxed so that they could make choices that were absolutely appropriate for them. Some of them did the medical allopathic. A couple of them did natural. One of them became a vegetarian. I mean, they became proactive. They started exercising more. They changed their lifestyle. In other words, it was an opportunity. It was a message from within. Something needs to change. Is life for us to that level of detail? Oh yeah, absolutely. Life is for us and never against us. It is always prompting us to expand, to include more, to be more. Okay. So I had another friend who had the same diagnosis, and this was years before I was ever even in the teaching, but she was a first grade teacher, and she said, I will never miss a day of school because of this, and she never did. And she, as they say, beat it, and she's alive and well today. That's been 40 years ago at least. So it's the mind is extremely involved in every decision we make, whether we think it just happens to us or not. It doesn't. Nothing happens to us, it happens through us. Okay, so the hidden cause and the hidden gem are inherent in every challenge we have. You see, the visible has an invisible counterpart. And the invisible has a visible counterpart. And they work in sync together. So when we identify the gift, rather than panic about the problem, we have actually begun to set up a new cause. And there will be new effects. So my role with these ladies was more like spiritual coach than anything else. I was just there to remind them that they were greater than the experience they were having, and that the power that makes all things new is right where they are or were, and what is our relationship with it. That's basically what changes people's minds. So there's a name for what we do when we triumph over adversity, and everybody does it, whether they know it or not. It's called post-traumatic growth. Yes? We've all done it. We've all overcome things. We've triumphed over things. We've transcended things. We've taken things by the throat. We have proved over and over again that we're greater than our experience. Have we not? All right, so when something comes up that's really challenging, do we just forget that all of a sudden? Well, probably for 5 minutes. But then someone comes along like me or a practitioner or one of you to each other and say, hey, you're greater than this. The power of mind is greater than the effect it creates. So sometimes it takes a serious challenge to cause us to dig deep into our own soul and to find what we thought was lost or even gone forever. You know, I love movies, so I'm going to recommend one to you I just saw called The Mustang. You got to see this movie. I'm not going to give it away because it's too good and I don't want you to miss the ending. But it's all about a man in prison finding what he thought he didn't even have, compassion. He had been angry for so long, violent for so long, probably stemming from a horrendous childhood. Lost his family and his daughter was estranged and the whole thing. And the only way he knew to react to life was to hit it, to punch it, to yell at it, to kill it, to hurt it. And then he meant a horse. And that's and that's where the story begins to really unfold. His redemption came because of this horse. I don't want to ruin it for you, so I won't. But like all movies with a good plot line, it's a story of cause and effect. Every novel is, most music is. It's a story of cause and effect. This happens and then that happens. And so he set up a new cause by being willing through a series of events to start looking at himself. He stopped looking out there and started looking in here, and he found compassion. So we heal from a new cause, and a new cause is always some kind of realization. It's not an effect it's a realization within ourselves. So everyone has times when it seems like God has abandoned them, and we cry out, "Why me?" But then when something wonderful happens, we go, "Thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God." In both cases, we don't think we have anything to do with it. Right? It's kind of funny when you think about it. If you're asking God, "Why did you do this to me?" you think something is apart from you is responsible. And if you're thanking it, you think something apart from you is responsible. The thing is, we're in a dance with it all the time. It's our dancing partner. It's our singing partner. It's like the horse whisperer. It's the soul whisperer. We can't be separate from it. So we have to remember what Ernest Holmes says, and this is another basic one. Life comes through us, not to us. There's no such thing as this happened to me. It happened through me. I was the one present. Bitter pill to swallow, key to freedom. It's both and, right? Just like the guy in the movie, it was a bitter pill for him to realize he had something to do with the life he chose. That he had in some way actually chosen it, right? So whatever we may be looking at right now is in us as an energetic, a potential that can be fulfilled. Let's say it's a desire for a loving partner. We have the potential to be a loving partner, and then we attract one. Cause, effect. You don't attract a loving partner if you're not one because they won't stick around. Right? Ever done that? Or you'll be fooled. Right? So we must become that which we desire in the world. Be the change you wish to see, said Gandhi. Okay, so would it be any different with a desire for greater health or greater vitality? Like my friends, they became healthier. They became more vital. They got more involved in their life. And the effect of the other went away. Right? So it might seem so, but because we're very, 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 very brainwashed about disease in this culture and all of that. But there is a way for people to be healthier in mind, to be more at peace with themselves, to be more trusting in the intelligence of the body, for one thing. It knows how to do everything perfectly. That acts as cause to the physical condition of the body. So we become healthier in mind. And that may mean letting go of old resentments, old angers. It might mean cleaning up fears we have that are not founded, unfounded fears, that kind of thing. So so much of what plagues us can be related back to our belief or the lack of in the originating power behind everything, and that's God. And we have had in our world a very limited view of God, too small and too far away. But it is everything, and it's right here, which it makes a huge thing. So the source that the world knows as God is real. It's just bigger than we thought it was, and it's more personal than we thought it was. It's more immediate than we thought it was. It's more available than we thought it was. It's more accessible than we thought it was, because it's right where we are all the time. And that's the part of us that is greater than the experience we're having. So it never withholds. It never withdraws. It's always coming from one direction. What we declare to be true, it creates in effect. So it never fails to support our needs, but we must convert need into a claim. Okay? So you can feel the difference between I claim my wholeness than I want, I need, I gotta have, right? Big difference. Big difference in how what that does to the body. So I'm going to ask you to say some affirmative statements out loud if you feel like it. I claim my lavish prosperity right now.
I claim my lavish prosperity right now.
I claim it. That's different than wanting it. Got to have it. Need it. Claim it. Right? I claim my perfect health in this moment and every moment. I claim my perfect health in this moment and every moment. I claim success in everything I do. I claim success in everything I do. I claim inner peace as my very nature. I claim inner peace as my very nature. So make a declaration and stick to it. Put this creative mind to the test and give it something to do. Let's turn showers into flowers. Yes? All right, let's go within. And I'm going to do this treatment for each and every one of us here, everyone who's not here, the whole world, but specifically you. For you made the choice to be here today. You made the choice to come and participate and lend your energy and your heart and your love and your soul to this experience, that we might all renew our faith in this unseen power, that we might realize we are dealing with something so beautiful, so magnificent, so ever-present, that we need never doubt it. We've come here today to edify our mind, to once again realize this whole teaching is about us. It's about me. It's about you. It's not theory. It's not philosophy. It's spiritual truth, and we can prove it. I know that you came here today because you love and support this teaching, and you want to see it flower and grow in Bakersfield. I know that you came here today because you are in love with life, and you expect life to love you. And so we begin by knowing once again that this great power that is everywhere, present all the time, known by God by many names, is real. It is active right here and right now. It is speaking by means of me. It is listening by means of you. It is playing the music by means of the musicians. It is the sun. It is the moon. It is everything. It is the invisible hidden in the visible. And it is pure love and absolute intelligence. That's God. That's our source. That's what runs my body. That's what runs my life. That's what prompts me from within to be greater, to be freer, to be more prosperous, to be more inclusive, to be more loving, to be more joyful. It's prompting me to grow and to let go of the past as if it never happened. For in the mind of God, it did not. The only thing that ever happened was life and more life. Today we make a great claim. for ourselves and our center and this teaching, and we claim we are a thriving, prosperous, successful gift to Bakersfield and the world. We love each other, we support each other, and we celebrate together. And we know that for every cause there is an immediate and lasting effect. And so we set up the cause now through these words. Life is good and very good. Love is on the move in me, around me, and all through me. Know that for yourself. Peace is the effect of our coming together here. And joy is the energy we take with us out into the world. This is the place to be, right here in ourselves. And so whatever we may be looking at today, we know it is a launching pad. It is a spiritual trampoline, if you will. It's moving us up, getting the energy going, telling us to get on with it, make the changes, to see the change you wish to be. With great gratitude, that's the one overriding emotion we must carry all the time, gratitude for everything. Don't call it a problem. Be grateful that it's an opportunity to step up, move out, and be more. And so with joy in our heart and gratitude in our heart and love in our heart and peace in our heart, and cheerful expectation of brand new, wonderful experiences, we let this treatment fly from the heart of us into the heart of God, knowing Spirit makes it real. And so we begin again, and we simply declare together, and so it is. Peace.